Alright, fellow collectors, once again, this is Optical 20. This time we're going to review DX13 Battle Damage T800 from the movie Terminator 2. This is going to be a long review, so just sit back, and this kind of inspired me in doing this figure because of the Terminator 1 Battle Damage MMS 238. So I figured, you know what, why not? It's always fun, especially doing this intro. You know, kind of mimic the intro of the movie. So let's get it started. We'll start off with a box. Pretty sweet box, since it's a DX version. So you get the fancy version one. It's not the shoebox type one. This one has a nice texture on the box itself. You can really see the difference between the DX figure and not. It has some bullet holes in it, you see some blood stains, T2 for Terminator 2, and moving on, look at that, it's just some high details right there. And then this is the bottom one. It sees Terminator Judgment Day T800 Battle Damage version DX13. You see the Hot Toys and the DX. For anyone who doesn't know yet, DX stands for Deluxe. As you can see there, the bullet holes. This one's kind of embossed. Moving up, really nice box. I mean, if I could display just the box itself, trust me, I would. If this would fit in any of my case, I would. Not only this, but most of my DX boxes, to be quite honest with you, they're all nice. Even the DX11 one. And I'm gonna zoom out a little bit more. You know, I've shown this earlier. This review runs long, so you know, just to give you a heads up. And this is the back of the box. Nothing too fancy. Just says DX there. But the actual texture, I don't know how you say it. It feels like a leathery feel. I'm pretty sure it's not leather, but it gives you that high quality feel when you touch it. And this is the side, says DX13 T800 in a nice lettering out there with kind of shiny material. And the inside, as you all know, it is being held by a magnet. And this is the flap. It has a piece of his jacket. I'm pretty sure it's not a real piece of the jacket, but it kind of replicates that for anyone who knows DX figures. Same one with Joker. It has the card and some bullet holes. That's when you open it, that's how it works out. You know, inside it's plain gray, and inside says Terminator Judgment Day. You can take this out if you want to. Since injuries data could be called pain. Excellent movie. You know, for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, I'm an 80s baby, though. You know, I'm a big fan of these kind of movies. T800 says there's some scribbled words in there now. I can't read it. I think it says I know now, something like that. I'll read it again. Not today. I know I've read it before. It's one of his lines, like something about crying or something like that. He said it towards the end, and you can see the magnet from the top at the bottom. You know, that's how we close the box, basically. And once you open this flap, you can see the figure. This is not the well, as you can see, the one that's wrapped. That's the T1000, the liquid version. This is the first time I'm opening this. I bought this just recently. I know this figure came out a year ago, but for some odd reason, Sideshow, this popped up on Sideshow's site, and so I ordered it. And luckily, I ordered the exclusive version at first, but they didn't have it. They said that it was an error or something, so they decided to just give me this and give me not a discount, not on this one, but on a different figure that I do have. This is this rod. It's him by himself. I mean, this is what brought me to Terminator, to be quite honest with you. I always wanted to have one. So I figured, you know what, this is a good representation, and I wasn't wrong. Take this out, but the EX version, who has the head, is pretty cool too, but it's one of those useless EX versions, to be quite honest. So I didn't cry too much about it. He has tons of weapons and an extra jacket, you know, for the battle damage version. And so I'm just trying to show you here. That's the stand. Some instructions too. Just trying to show you where everything fits where. And yeah, tons of accessories. Moving on to the actual accessories. You can see here the instruction booklet. I suggest you read that. There's a lot of instructions there, how to move the purse if you haven't had any DX figures before, and especially the other one because it does need the drumstick kind of thing, which I'll show later on. But right now what I'm showing is here's the battle damage hands. Look at that, some endoskeleton showing up, and all the hands looks like this one, so kind of got the uniform look. I wish they would have included non-battle damage hands so that it, because he does have like some sort of a cleaner version head, so to speak, where his jacket is not all torn off. So I wish they would have included some gloves that's not battle damage, but it's not a big deal to me. I did buy the T800, the Terminator 1 version. It does come with a lot of non-battle damage hands, so I'll guess I'll use most of that. And I do like this hand. This is the thumbs up hand. You can see some endoskeleton showing up there too. I mean, I do like the fact that, it's a beautiful hand. Not, it's easy to pop in and out. I guess it's made out of soft rubber. Unlike those snake eyes and GI Joe ones that I do have, where you need to be, like super strong, so to speak, to just to switch out hands. And we'll zoom out here, and yeah, every hand has a lot of details on them. You can see the blood and some beautiful craftsmanship. And like I said earlier, he does come with some, not an outfit, but I guess just the jacket. This is the battle damage version, where it's completely identical to his jacket, the one that he's wearing, but this one does have a torn left sleeves. So once you switch out the hands, which I'll show you later, it would show prominently the battle damage that he does have. And moving forward to some of his arsenal, so you can see some grenade launcher shells. I haven't even taken it out of its case. Probably good. I already put it all up together. I was just lazy at this point, but you know how this works. The only thing that I always got a confusion, I always see it on the videos and some pictures. I don't know if it's supposed to go up or down. Once you put it on the bandolier and right here on his case, and everything fits smoothly. I just don't know which way to go. And there's some battle damage on this one too. See, there's some holes and everything. That's hard to do, so you got to be careful because this might snap on you. So just be careful. It's hanging by a thread. I don't know what it's for. That small little hook. So if you do know, just hit me up in the comment section. And like I said, I don't know if the shell's just supposed to go up, the tip's going up, or the tip is going down. So you can give me some advice there too. And his handgun, two-tone. As you can see here, I'm not sure what type of gun this is, but it's nicely painted. There you go. Looks like a Colt. Could be wrong. Yeah, like the two-tone effect. Cocks back. Hammer too. Nicely painted. It feels like it looks like it's real metal, but it's not really a metal. It's just plastic. And as usual, you can take off the magazine, and if it's not fighting back, you could. There you go. You can. It even has the ammo counter from the magazine. Put it right back up. Beautiful. Beautiful gun. Nothing special, but it's different from all those black guns that we just see. This plain black pistols and all and whatnot. So moving forward, he does come with a lot of guns, so you can knock yourself out. Then some of your figures, or build a second Arnold, which that's what I did. And this is his grenade launcher. Beautiful piece. I guess it's different from another. I don't really have that, the DX10, I guess. This one is more battle damage towards the butt stock, the wooden stock at the end, but I mean, basically they're identical, I guess. You can see the iron sight, you can move it up and down, and this is the stock that I'm talking about here. It's kind of like burnt. The effect, I guess this is how, I don't know how to say it. It looks like a wood, but I don't know if that's how it looks like when it gets burnt. Uh, but I guess it's okay. It does have this wood effect. It's battle damage. I don't know if it's wood or. I guess what I'm trying to say is it could have been better, the damage effect, but it's okay. Still looks nice. I just don't know which hand he's supposed to hold this onto because I tried having him hold this with I guess on the body itself. I gotta try to experiment more at this. And this one opens up. And this is articulated, some bunch of details on it, and see, folds down. You can see there's a hole inside which you can actually do put an ammo inside, which it does have an ammo inside, aside from the extra shells that you seen earlier. It does come with a real working, you know. Oh, here you go. This is the rifle. I'm assuming this is an M16. It's not the CQB version. Uh, Semi-auto. Switch it up. You can't though. It's not movable. The stock. Pretty sure you can't move that. Butt stock. And trying to focus here because the paintwork is it's amazing. So for any gun enthusiast, they're gonna like this. Not as much, not as better as not as good as the Barney Ross one, where you can separate the upper and lower receiver, but it's still pretty good. See the magazines here. You can take this out as well. It's kind of tight, but you know you could. See here, some nice paint apps. Has some bullets inside as well. All right. Oh, you see the bullets inside. And the Terminator one, if you've seen it on my reviews, it does have. Oh, look at that, bullets. um, I used to play airsoft. If you can see on my channel, if you scroll at the bottom, I used. That was a long time ago, maybe like I don't know, 8 years ago. So we used to have guns like this, so replicas. Until now, we kind of like me and my friends. Most of my friends, I don't own one. I don't own the some like this rifles yet, but most of my friends does, so kind of familiar on how it works and the magazine and the look. And so far, what I can tell is this is really accurate. Here, this one opens up to the chamber. Look at that. It doesn't move or anything inside, just for effect, but still, for a small scale, that's pretty impressive. It does have the sling. It's really work. I mean, it does work good, and you can kind of tighten it up. You can extend it. You can do whatever you want to, because on the look of my Terminator, I have him, just putting this on his shoulder, which is I think it's a pretty badass um, look for him. There you go. Like I said, so many weapons that he does have, and this is the battle damage arm. Here he has some blood, some really cool details on this guy. That on his arm, some and I've looked at some references. I mean, you can't really tell if it's accurate or not. I mean, but for the most part, it is. So I'm not gonna spend too much time, comparing the two. But you can see the paint work here, some blood hanging out. The stains on the metal rod itself. It's just Amazing, amazing artwork. Look at that. You can see that. And it's made out of plastic, but it's kind of stiff. You know, this rod and everything hanging out. And to take out his arm, I wouldn't say it's gonna be that easy. So you need a little bit of force, but it's doable. You know, you don't need any special pliers or anything like that. But like I said, you need to put a little push on it, then just to replace it. So, but it's a good look. It's a good look, especially if you put the battle damage head right next to it. So, and next one, I'm pretty cool. It's pretty cool that they included this. It's just a cloth, but it does have. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like one of those. If you have eyeglasses, you know those fancy cloths. It does have one. It says Hot Toys. I'm not even gonna open this because it's looks really cool. This is used to wipe the biggest accessory of them all, I would say, and this one, the T1000 liquid form. It does come wrapped in this. I don't know what kind of paper this is, but it's pretty cool. I guess it's, I don't know, scratch resistance, because it seems like there's a foam inside this. I don't know. I don't even want to call this cloth. I want to call it plastic, but there's a foam inside. I kept all of it. You know, every time that I buy a toy, I keep all the plastics inside just in case I want to sell it again. So the next person would have to unwrap it again. Although I don't really see myself, selling this figure, but you never know. You never know. In the long run, I might need some money, or for new figures that I want to review. You see, yeah, the T1000 liquid form. It's awesome. If you do have the T1000, cop form or something, this is a good complementary piece to that. But it's it's fingerprint magnet, as you can tell. As you can see, the background there. It's pretty cool. Now the exclusive version, the EX version, does come with a separate head, which you can replace it. But I guess I always read on the forums and Sideshow freaks and whatnot. I was debating at first when Sideshow told me that they don't have the EX version, and a lot of them suggested that I should take this version even though it's not the EX, because they said that this is probably one of the most useless EX, the separate head. And they told me basically just take this version because I'm gonna be happy with it, and I'm glad I took their advice. Because I'm totally blown away, and even without the EX head, I don't think I'm gonna lose sleep over it. And this is I'm just trying to wrap this so I don't put fingerprints all over it. As you can see me right here checking out on his head. There you go. Yeah, it's pretty nice, pretty neat, and it takes up a lot of space too, especially the base. So if you're gonna put this right next to the DX13, if you have a detail figure, that's all you can put. So go to Hobby Lobby. It has one of those transparent thing. Make him stand over it so you can put two DX figures. As if you want to check out my T800, my Terminator 1 review, you'll see how my display works out with this. And another head sculpt. Anytime that a figure has another purse head sculpt, that's always a plus. And not only does this one have a purse head sculpt, it has a purse head sculpt that lights up. So, I mean, this is an expensive figure. Don't get me wrong. This is probably the most expensive figure that I bought, because it's I guess it's a DX. I bought some DX before. I got DX 11, 12, but by far this is the most expensive one. But the way Hot Toys are, I'm just trying to focus on this one too. Oh my goodness, look at those damages. Look at those eyes. This is Arnold all the way. The scars. He has some little scratches on his face. The skin peeling off. It does come with its own, peg inside. It's beautiful. If you have a DX10 is a good figure too, but I mean, once you get this head sculpt, it will just make that look dated. I'm sorry, but I've seen DX10. I mean, it still looks good, don't get me wrong, but just don't make it stand right next to a DX13. Look at that. That's the purse, which turn it on and off. And I do like the fact that this one, I think, I hope that Hot Toys don't do that trend where it turns off by itself, kind of like the Terminator one, because that's really annoying, especially when you're trying to take pictures and whatnot. So I hope in this guy's case it would, and you see how you see the purse working this time. And then it's like he's being possessed. There you go, awesome figure. And like I mentioned earlier, um, normally I would do this this long on a head sculpt, but for some reason I did it on the accessory section, so I guess I'm not gonna do it on the head sculpt version now then. All right, and the base. Let's not forget about the base. The base is pretty cool too. Looks like a recycled Bane base, to be quite honest with you, but it lights up. You've seen it before. For those who haven't, it's a big box base with the LED lights on it. You put three AAA batteries. There's an on and off, but the actual, I guess, base itself looks kind of like a recycled Bane, but it does have the stand and everything. Actually, the Bane looks better if you put lights on it. This one does light up. Has this rusty kind of looking thing. Now we'll move into the actual figure. As you can see, his pants, there's some battle damage at the end, some fading, weathering. It's beautiful altogether. His shoes is kind of weathered as well. His pants, it's pleather. As you can see, look at that knees. Um, and then those joints, and you can see that I'm gonna go a little closer. Those skin, those the skin peeling off, all I guess all red with blood covered all over. It's just beautiful. Look at that. It's awesome. And the pants too. They put a nice battle damage on the pants so it would show off. I mean, all that craftsmanship. You gotta show it. And it still has some. It still does articulate even with that those knees. It has joints in it which you can't see here, but it does articulate pretty nicely, just like any Predator. I'm gonna compare it to a Predator figure because it doesn't have the double jointed knees, obviously, but it still does articulate pretty good. And the jacket, it fully represents his outfit on Terminator 2. This is the relaxed palm hands that he comes with the figure just right off the box. His jacket is beautiful. It's an amazing figure. And let's move up. See the details on his jacket. So I believe the zippers are working for real. The pockets, I didn't really try it. I don't want to mess up anything. Zippers and everything. There's bullet holes on his arm. Yeah, and there's bullet holes all over. And the chest area, as you can see it there, he does. I'm gonna open up the jacket too, so you can see the amount of details in the chest area. People complain that it's too red, which I do kind of get the sense that it's too red, but I guess it's in the 80s, so it's gore and bloodbath. You can see all his mechanics and some screws inside. It's just nice overall detail. And on the neck part, you can see some bullet holes as well. The jacket is really torn apart because of the bullets and everything. Zoom out too. Look at that. Everything about this figure is just awesome. I mean, like I said, it's an expensive figure, but I would say it's worth the price. I mean, it's hard to say when a figure is worth around $320, not even shipped yet. But there you go. You open them up. show more details on his backside, because the jacket, like I said, overall, it's pretty intense with all the details and rivets and nice tailoring too, because it doesn't hinder any of his movement. It's not too tight, but it's not loose as well. You see the zipper, and you see the stitches on the side. His pants. Like I said, in the bullet holes, it goes all the way in the back. I guess one of the complaints was that the shirt on his back doesn't have any battle damage. It doesn't have any blood stains or whatnot. As you can see those bullet holes. You can see some shiny paint around it, kind of like represents the blood that came out. So that's nice little touch by Hot Toys. Pockets on his pants in the back. Beautiful. Look at that. Some nice tailoring there too. And this is him when you take out the jacket. I would say this is a regular TTM 20 body, even though I did buy the TTM 20 body. The neck seems to be a little short, I would say, if it's a TTM 20 for the regular TTM that you buy in the stores and whatnot. But that would do if you're trying to do a custom figure, because the skin tone wouldn't match perfectly. But like I said, it's okay. It will do. This is belt. There's some. I don't want to say there's a lot of fragile pieces on this one, because I didn't mess out with the belt or anything. This is the arm, which you can take out and pop the forearm off. Some bullet holes in his neck. Look at that. It's just awesome details right there. Some attention to detail by Hot Toys. Normally, a real person would die if he got shot in the neck, but he's a machine. And the chest area, beautiful. Look at that. I wish I could buy a second body, but they're so expensive nowadays. They're around $140, and no way I'm gonna spend $140 on just a regular body on a figure. And the backhand side, as you can see, there is no holes whatsoever after he got shot. None. And we are gonna move on to the head sculpt. Yeah, that is art all the way, man. As you can see there. There's no way when you see this sculpt. Maybe it's not 100% yet, but it's close. It's right there. Maybe the next version. But even if there is a next version, I'd be happy with this one. I mean, if you're a real Arnold enthusiast, I'm not really that big of a Terminator fan. I do love the movie, don't get me wrong. I loved it. I especially loved it when I was doing this review, because I've seen it when I was younger. Now, anytime that I do reviews, I kind of want to go back to see. But look at those wrinkles in his eyes and the shape of his head, of his face. Look at those indentions on his scars, not scars, but his wounds. The blood, it's still there. It's amazing. As I was saying on the movie earlier, every time I try to do a review, I try to watch, just to reference like the intro and the song that I'm gonna use in the background and everything. So I try to rewatch the movie, and I'm surprised because this movie came out, 20 years ago, especially the T1, but it's so ahead of its time. Not graphic-wise, obviously, because it would show its age, but the storyline and everything, it's just amazing. You won't find those kind of movies nowadays where, who would thought of something like that? It's kind of like Star Wars, which I'm not even a big Star Wars guy, but it's amazing. As you can see the head sculpt there. This one's purse as well, with both eyes. I think he looks better when he's kind of looking on the side, kind of like represents Arnold more. If he's looking straight up, I mean, it's still pretty good. but I think the likeness it's a lot better when he's kind of looking on the side too. And you can see, you can just pop this up pretty easy. See there, to anyone who hasn't seen this before, there's like a little joystick in there, unlike the other head sculpt, because it's only one eye. I won't even call it purse because it's only one eye. This one doesn't light up because it doesn't have the endo eye. As you can see, that is amazing right there. You can just move up and down, left and right, so you can do different poses. That's why I do love DX figures. I don't mind paying an extra $50 to get this DX, this purse. Honestly, I know some collectors doesn't like the purse because it makes the eye look kind of weird, and I do get that. I guess there are some figures where the purse doesn't make any sense, but you know what, overall I don't mind. I don't mind the purse. And this is the classic matchup between him and T1000 when this is on the steel mill. He became a liquid form and he tried punching him and it kind of caught his hand. This is the obligatory pose, so to speak. Anyone, that's how it's supposed to be. That's why he's looking like that. Looks all kind of weird. T1000. I wish they would have chosen a different pose, to be quite honest, because no one's gonna pose it like this on their shelves. Maybe there is, but I won't. So I wish the T1000 would have been a bit more, I guess, subtle on his poses. Maybe like more of a museum pose, but I don't mind. You know, I mean, it's T1000. It's not why I bought this figure for. And yeah, I'm trying to do some different poses here. This is him just holding his M16 on the side with his handgun. Yeah, I mean, with this guy, he looks just like a badass on whatever pose that you put him on. Either way, he can be holding a gun or he could be holding a banana, and he would still. I mean, it's Arnold. I'm not gonna do the obligatory Arnold voice. I'm not good at that. But yeah, look at this. It's just simple pose. Even as a museum pose, he would still look good on your shelf. So yeah, I'm just trying to. I mean, as far as articulation, he has every range of motion you can think of. Some of them are gonna be hindered by pants, but I doubt that you would do any split moves with Arnold or any dynamic, because it's Arnold. It's like having Shaq on your team. You know, it's not like you're gonna ask Shaq to do some crazy dunks. He's just powerful as it is, just like Arnold. In his movies, he's just all about power, not agility or anything like that. So as far as poses, you won't do any Spider-Man poses. So he's good at what he does. And this is the battle damage version. That's how I'm gonna have him pose with a metal rod and his arm hanging out. Look at that. That is the epitome of battle damage. Terminator 2, when he's like struggling to get up. He had this tough battle with T1000. His head all scratched up. And there you go, folks. So hard to say it, but the Terminator 1 is pretty good. I don't think you're gonna be able to buy this anymore off the retailers. If you can snag it off of eBay under 400, go right ahead. It's an awesome piece. If not, the Terminator 1 is not a bad consolation price. But if you want something to represent your Terminator 2, this would be the piece, not the DX10. I'm sorry to DX10 owners. But yeah. Alrighty, so that's it. So thank you for watching. Please like or subscribe this video, and till my next review.